Hello, fellow subscribers. I have some information for you, and I thought that it would be um, uh, inappropriate not to pass it on to you at the earliest. First, let's make our way to Hosea chapter 4, verses 6 and verse 10, where it says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children." And in verse 10, the Bible tells us, "For they shall eat and not have enough, they shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord." So, what is this all about? Yes, it is indeed about lack of knowledge. People's health, their health will be destroyed by eating the wrong stuff, the wrong food. Why? Because I'm going to explain to you. So, these so-called burgers, which are meat substitute, are largely based on soy products. And soy contains phytoestrogens. Now you can see here there are two conflicting titles. This one says, "Dear men, there's no evidence that eating Impossible Whoppers will give you breasts. That's the damage control. We shall be coming to that. And then you will decide which side of the coin you're going to believe." And our next article is from a veterinarian who says that the Impossible Whopper will make men grow breasts because of, and you need to see this. So this veterinarian here. So Dr. James Stangl alleges the soy protein is the meat that causes estrogen to increase. The argument that soy products cause feminization in men has been circulating for years. Marlyn Nestle, a nutrition professor, maintains that soy should be eaten in moderation. And get this, what is her surname? Her surname is Nestle. Do you think it's by coincidence that the big corporation giant of synthetic food, which is called carbohydrate, do you think it's an accident that Nestle would employ somebody with a surname of Nestle, a nutritionist? What do you think? Her opinions are biased in favor of her company, and she might be related to that company, family-wise. Amid the growing popularity of plant-based products, a doctor of veterinary medicine has suggested that the Burger King's Impossible Whopper has so much estrogen from soy that it could make men grow breasts. And I will be adding on to that. In a report in Tri-State Livestock News, Dr. James Stangl of South Dakota rails against the alternative burger made by Impossible Foods and its use of soy protein as a main ingredient. Stangl compares the soy-based Impossible Whopper to the beef Whopper, claiming that the plant-based version has 44 milligrams of estrogen, while the original only has 2.5 nanograms. So, get this, we're talking about 44 milligrams against 2.5 nanograms. Nanograms are not the same as milligrams Okay? Now, also understand that your, the regular oral contraceptive pill contains 35 milligrams of estrogen. Let me repeat that. The regular oral contraceptive pill contains 35 milligrams of estrogen, so that is 9 milligrams less than the 44 milligrams of the impossible Whopper. Now, let me refresh your metric system. There are 1 million nanograms in 1 milligram. All right? That means an impossible Whopper has 18 million times as much estrogen as a regular Whopper. Just 6 glasses of soy milk per day has enough estrogen to grow boobs on a male. That's the equivalent of eating 4 impossible Whoppers per day. You would have to eat 880 pounds of beef from an implanted steer cattle that is raised for beef to equal the amount of estrogen in one birth control pill. Now, and here, the mainstream media is trying to quell down Strangle's claims by saying that there's little evidence. Oh, yes, sure. Let's try it on the guinea pigs, the ones who will be buying the Impossible Whopper. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see how many of them grow boobs, how many of them will get prostate cancer, how many of the women will get breast cancer, and even the men for that matter, and how many women will get ovarian cancer. And then we'll refresh our views, about the Impossible Whopper. Oh, yes, of course, because they're just guinea pigs, they're cattle. So, in short, Impossible Burger is a genetically modified organism filled with calorie-dense oils that can make a man grow breasts if eaten in sufficient quantity, he wrote. And that is the guy. And we thank him for coming forth with this information for those who want to take in this knowledge, but those who refuse to believe the truth, they will perish for lack of knowledge, as our Lord says. So this guy is not just a regular guy. He's a qualified guy with a university degree. And he's also been voted as the veterinarian of the year. All right? This is no charlatan, my friends. So let us go to see what the nutrition facts. I think you would like to see this, certainly. So, all right. So you have saturated fat at 40. It's low on carbohydrate and has 19 grams of protein. Some vitamins which you would expect in soybeans. But of course, they're not putting down the amount of estrogen because nobody would buy it. So the patty is made with soy protein, coconut oil, potato protein, sunflower oil, and heme, a plant-based ingredient that makes the burger taste like meat, according to Impossible Foods. And what does Marlyn Nestle have to say? Well, here she said New York University nutrition professor Marlyn Nestle told the Washington Post that the apprehension surrounding soy has been an ongoing point of debate. Well, perhaps she can try it out herself, and maybe she can be the guinea pig, since she is coming from the family of Nestle. But we do not want to eat synthetic food which contains estrogen more than the standard oral contraceptive pill. So you get a lot of conflicting advice going on. Now, Look, what does the damage control have to say? It's always happening. Anything. If there is something of truth, of importance online, you're going to find an opposing view to get you confused, to get you perplexed, to get you to question the truth. Well, this seems to be the same here, actually. Soy contains a high concentration of isoflavones, as I pointed out to you. Isoflavones are phytoestrogens, which are plant-based molecules that have the capacity to mimic estrogen in the body. Indeed, isoflavones have been used in preparations for postmenopausal women who were experiencing hot flushes. So there you have it. And now it's being used in burgers. Why? Well, the impossible Whopper is a weapon. And it's a weapon by design. It's a weapon of the United Nations and the global elite to cause a decline in the fertility of males. It has also been placed there to increase the incidence of cancers, of prostate cancer, breast cancer, and ovarian cancer. This is all in line with Agenda 2030, depopulation. Therefore, depopulate by sterilizing the males and the females, drop their sperm counts, and hasten their deaths, get them to die earlier, preferably before they reach pensionable age, so we don't have to pay them any pension. We just want them to work for their entire lives until they're around 60 or 65 years, and then when the slaves are done, we just want them to drop dead. So we give them synthetic foods as alternatives, and we'll tell them that these foods are very healthy, that they will bring their cholesterol down, and a lot of hype. Now you see whom you are going to believe. If you want to hasten your death, if you want to shorten your lifespan, you know what to choose. Because as the Lord said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Dear subscribers, I hope this information blesses you and pass it on to all those who need to know, especially those who are consuming heavy amounts of garbage, heavy amounts of takeaway food, which can't even be called food. God bless you all.